Hey guys, right, we are back on our little daily drive. So today up Staples Corner and we are gonna go right third exit. So I'm gonna put that on the side and then let's see how we do. So hopefully you can see it. I haven't set the camera up properly today, but now we're going right third exit, so I'm gonna signal right and then we're gonna go nice and easy, simple, traffic light controlled, and exit number 1. Now the important exit is exit number 2, because that's when we're going to start transition, changing lanes. Alright, so I'm having a scan, making sure no one's in the mirrors, checking behind me. Okay, so now sliding over, I'm going to signal left as I'm opposite this one. One lane, no one's next to me. Simple. It's just a glide. Look how easy it is. Now I'm going to leave on the outer lane here just because it's easier, and I'm going to be joining later on. There you go. Simple. Now we're going up to the dual carriageway and then we're going to join up on the dual carriageway in a bit. So if you guys haven't joined dual carriageways, you got to kind of look in those mirrors, make sure you got nice gaps. Pretty similar to lane changing, but the problem is sometimes you run out of space. So I'm going to start signaling now. There we go. See, it's bunching up a little bit, something to keep in mind. Keep the distance. Have a look at that mirror, look, and I'm looking behind as well. Worked out, no one's in our lane. Focus on the line and the lane closest to us. I do a little shoulder, that's just me, and wow, there is so much traffic ahead. So let's see if I change lanes now or not. Good, so I'm going to change lanes in a second. We see that BMW is behind me there, so I'm not going to do it at the moment. Got that distance there, keep that. Got the blue car right there. Constant checking, constant monitoring ahead, no movement, keep the car straight. Now there's an opportunity now. I'm going to slide in just behind this car. I don't even know if it's worth it, to be honest. And then there we go, nice and smooth. Always make sure that car's gone further ahead. Slow moving traffic, so it's a little bit easier at the moment. Wow, there's a lot of traffic. So I'm going to try and slide into one of these lanes in a sec if it's possible. But this one seems to be moving anyway, so I don't really mind. But now I'm having a look, and then I'm waiting just till that car's gone, then I'll probably signal now. Car behind is far, they probably won't try and overtake me, so there we go, nice. Job done, very easy, and that's how you lane change. Take your time, do not rush it, okay? Really simple. Once you're in your lane, maintain your distances. Problem with maintaining distances, obviously some people are going to try cutting in, but you know, you'd rather be safe yourself, and then if they do that, you back off again. So anytime someone comes into your space, maintain a gap again. So it's, I tell students, it's a bit like, you know, when someone invades your personal space, someone comes up to your face, you naturally will back off. So you do the same thing with driving. Someone comes into that space, then you back off again. Build up your gap that you're happy with, no matter who comes in front of you. All right, so that's really important. And then we are carrying on, constantly monitoring a few cars, making sure that these cars aren't signaling or looking like they're edging towards me. So it's not like you just stay in your lane and only focus on your lane. You got to kind of fixate a little bit on a couple of lanes. So you're looking there, I'm looking at those cars, and just like I wanted to change lanes, other people might want to do that as well. So you know, you got to constantly keep thinking about that, so you don't get surprised. And then if it's, you know, slow moving traffic like this, there's no harm in letting someone through either. So you know, it keeps the flow going, and keeps the frustration less with drivers. But yeah, apart from that, that was the lane changing. So now this is going to be a bit of a long haul. It's all slow moving traffic, so I shall catch up with you guys in a bit. See you later. Alright guys, right, we're back, we're out of the traffic. So we are now on a 40-mile-an-hour road, and it's going to change shortly to a 50. I know that, you guys don't know that yet. And let's see, let's do a little lane change in a second. Okay, so looking at that car, look, they're not really gaining. Look at the traffic ahead. That car's now too close. I'm getting too close as well. They're braking. I'm not going to try and do it. Okay, so I'm going to hold back a little bit. Now I've got a nice gap. Now there's a gap between me and the Mercedes. Okay, so if I want to change, I'm going to signal early, and now I'm going to glide over. I'm going to allow that car to go in front of me as well. All right, easy. Have a look at any signs. There's still 40. Okay, and make sure that's a nice gap. So whenever you lane change, it's just nice and relaxed, no rush. All right, 50-mile-an-hour road. Okay, we always have a little check behind us, and off we go. Okay, now we've got to make sure we don't go over the limit. So we are now, I'm just going to set my limiter, so sometimes that helps as well. If you guys have a limiter, you are allowed to use all these sort of gadgets, but I never really tell my students to use it because it's just too much to think about. By the time you set one of the limits, you're coming off that road anyway in a minute or so, so it's not really worth it. But for longer journeys like this, when you guys pass the driving test, then it's ideal. It really takes the stress out of breaking the limits and the law, especially with cameras everywhere nowadays. So now look at a little bunch up ahead. Hazard perception, remember we did that in the other session, and now it's clearing up, maintaining the gaps. They've got nice gaps in between them, and then I can see further ahead there's more traffic building up, so slowly starting to back off. Everyone's brake lights are coming on. Eyes on lights, remember that one? That is one of my favorite ones. I always say that whenever you are driving, you'll know whether someone's braking, you'll know if they're signaling, reversing, flashing their lights towards you. But if you're not looking at those lights and you're just looking at the car, you know, just per se, then you're not going to really react to anything. And that's what those lights are for. They're not for the driver, they're for you. So that's why it's just vital you keep that in mind. Okay, now we're back in traffic again, so great. So what I'll do is we'll stop the video again, and then we'll resume. There's a big roundabout junction coming up ahead. If I can get a chance to resume back there, then we'll do that, and I shall see you shortly. Bye. Alright guys, we're back. We're at the hang lane gyratory now. I'm going to do it in a slightly unorthodox way, but let's see. We're going to be going right third exit, and I'm going to kind of cut the traffic a little bit, which is not what you guys meant to do. So there we go. So we're going to be going round, and actually no, I'm in the correct lane, so I'm fine. So all three lanes going right, okay, but we're going to one of the exits up there, and this is going to be an exercise in lane changing again at the roundabout. So it gets really narrow and tight and everything. So what I want you guys to focus on is making sure whenever you lane change that you don't suddenly turn in. It's got to be glide and slide, and just make sure you don't rush anything. Keep an eye on the cars next to you, make sure you're kind of really smoothly doing it. Okay, so now we're coming up to the exit soon, so I'm going to start signaling left to leave, and then I'm going to start looking. There's a little gap between that and the red car. I'm going to glide in. Look at my steering, nice and simple. I'm gliding in, not affecting anyone, and then done. Okay, so as long as you do it smoothly, generally, even if you're kind of wrong, for example, it can work out, but ideally you don't really want to do that if you're wrong. So if you're in the wrong lane totally, just go around, pick another exit, no problem at all. There it was fine. I've kind of made my way smoothly in, no problem at all. The road now merges into one. You can see the arrows on the ground, really important. Maintain that gap there. And then we're going to join the dual carriageway again. So this one's a continuous lane. There's no lane changing here. There will be you don't really want to drive on the hatch markings unless absolutely necessary. Okay, and it's there to separate you guys from the other lanes when there's slight more danger. Okay, and then we should see signs on the ground saying stay in lane, so we're going to maintain that. Average speed cameras here, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to wait till they are done. I'm going to reduce my speed on my thing, so it's coming down to 40 because it's a 40-mile-an-hour average speed camera, and then we are good to go. So now those stay in lane things have gone. Have a look at the gap there. If I want to change lanes, I can do that now. So I'm going to smoothly glide in to that little gap there. Lovely. Alright, I'm going to adjust my speed a little if I need to, but everyone's moving quite nicely. And normally, which lane do we always stay in? That lane, the left-hand lane. Okay, so that's your normal driving position, and you should always stay in that lane. But for now, I'm going to stay here. We're going to go in a slightly different direction later on. But this is the dual carriageway for you. So simple, nothing fancy going on here. So we're just going to continue maintaining the gap, constant gap. Look, it's not an issue. They slam the brakes, I'm fine, hopefully. So all you got to do is maintain that gap. The moment I start getting closer and closer, tailgating, you see they react. So as soon as those lights come on, I'm thinking of braking straight away. My foot twitches, goes to the brake. So there you go, straight away again. So keep that in mind. They seem to be a little bit close to the car in front of them, but it's nothing drastic, which is why they're probably braking a bit. Maybe the car in front of them isn't going as fast, because I'm only doing 36 and it's a 40-mile-an-hour road, so you know, that's probably why they're braking a bit. But guys, lane change now. I'm just going to keep my distance from him a little bit and then continue on the drive. So it's as easy as that. Still 40, maintain the checks, constantly looking at an angle like that. So make sure you're not just looking straight, don't be tunnel vision, keep your eyes on the lamppost. That's where they can put the signs up. All right, they'll be on the ground, they'll be on the side, so bear that in mind. Okay, very, very important. Now it's starting to clear up again. Normally you come back to the left lane, there's that white car there, so I'm going to wait till that's gone, and then I shall return back as a good driver coming back to the left lane. Car behind me is quite quick, you see that? So there you go. So this is the normal lane you should always return back to. Have a look at that blue car. They're probably going to undertake everyone now, watch. Or they'll go on the right hand side, but they seem a bit keen. There you go, told you. You can see how quickly they're trying to catch up with everyone, but maybe they're going left, we never know. So now it seems like this lane's going a bit slow, so I'm going to try and go back to the right lane and then safely back out. They're braking, I'm going to brake a bit, and that's it. Sometimes you do have to keep changing lanes, but it's not always necessary. When you guys are on your tests, it won't be that necessary. Only overtake when absolutely needed. If someone's going like 20 miles an hour, for example, and then you've got a lot of leeway to go and overtake them. That car's now picked up, I can always return back if I want to. So now let's do that, and that's what you're meant to do. Okay, so that's what you should do. Come back whenever it's safe. Don't stay in the middle lane. What do they call them? Middle lane hoggers. Okay, so when they're not doing the speed limit, but they're all doing the speed limit, so it's not a problem. But generally you get on the motorway, people they're doing like 60 miles an hour in the middle lane, and they should be on the left lane, and then it's annoying because you can't undertake, so you have to take the long way around and overtake, and it's just a nightmare. And I think police nowadays, they try and warn them or fine them for doing that, but you know, you still see people doing it a lot. But yeah, that's my 2 cents for today. We're going to be carrying on this road for a while, so I won't bore you with my commentary, and I shall see you in the next daily drive. See ya.